Yesterday, I was at a Valuetainment Party, and it was insane. Ryan Garcia was there, a bunch of UFC fighters, massive YouTubers, business icons. It was a fantastic party. I also got to go around the set of one of Valuetainment studios. I'll play this in the background while I'm talking. I don't know if it's going to be distracting or what, but my boss George Gammon, he was getting interviewed by Adam Sosnick for Adam's channel, and I'm just going to go over their business model a little bit. I have a lot of thoughts on Valuetainment as a company, as a brand, and all those things. I kind of want to tiptoe around this because I really love Patrick Bet-David and what he's doing with everything, but for some harsh constructive criticism, I'm going to show the rest of this video in a little bit, but since I think it's important to understand this, right now they are spending so much money on production to get not great results on some of the channels. On their Valuetainment, on their Patrick Bet-David channel, they're getting a lot of views and a lot of income coming in from that. But on their other social medias and on their second accounts, like the Soscast, which George was on, they had like 7 editors real time that were there. They had 6 people that were behind the scenes running the cameras, running the directory, running everything. They're probably spending $500,000. And they have, when you see the rest of this video that I'll show in a little bit after I explain their business model, they are spending upwards of, I think, over $1 million a month on production for probably these 2 channels. I mean, they were in a 6 to 10,000 square foot building. That's one of 2, and they were getting a third one. They said that they're hiring 100 people a month right now for a social media dude. And let me just explain, I think, their rationale and then why I think that's wrong. But I'm not going to say wrong, just from my perspective, what I would do differently. I obviously don't know what the hell I'm doing. They're a lot richer than me, but I'm just going to give my honest feedback. So right now they're hiring 100 people a month, most of them in the US. That's very, very expensive. They are getting another building. They are trying to expand the content team. They're spending millions of dollars a month on this. So how are they making money? That's what you have to come down to. You can't continuously do this if you don't make any money from it. I know Pat just sold his company, made a lot of money from that. I'm not going to go over the complete figures, but the way I think they're probably making money now is they have some super high ticket items. I don't know exactly what they are. I think they probably have some sort of fund that they're getting people into. And then Pat probably does consulting, probably similar to what Russell Brunson does, $1 million to look at somebody's business and poke some holes into it. But let's not go over that. Let's not talk about how they're making money because that's not applicable. So why are they overspending? And I think they would have the same results, possibly even better, if they were just hiring better people instead of more people. I think they think that more people equals better because they're hiring 100 people a month right now, which it's not applicable for what they're doing. I think they see the social media as a loss leader, which means they think it should be running a loss because they can make up for it on the back end, but it doesn't have to be. You can make a very profitable channel and still have extreme profit on the back end. That's what I help other people do. That's literally what I do for them. I do it all for free, and all I do is a percentage of the profits, but you don't need to spend that much money to have extreme results. For example, these guys, I mean, on that channel, they're probably spending a few $100,000 on the Adam Sosnick's channel, but from the YouTube alone, it's probably only making a few $1,000s a month. And you would have to have such a high margin business on the back end for that to make sense. And even then, it still probably doesn't make sense because you're very reliant upon customers showing back up and up and up again. That's not to say the channel's not going to grow. I think it will, but for the amount of money that they're putting into it, it makes absolutely no sense for the results that they're getting right now. And I would never, ever, if they asked me to take over their team, I would say no right away, because what I would do is I would start by cutting 75% of the staff. They had probably 15 cameras that were set up that I'll actually kind of go over right now, but they were wildly useless. Let me just fast forward this a little. I was walking around. They literally had like a camera director for every single camera. And then they had a back room of 4 people that were switching between screens. Then we had 7 people in the back editing. It was ridiculous. They had there 2 different managing directors over there inside this massive studio. Sorry, my thing was shaky. They had a cigar lounge. They had so many different things just for a little workspace. And when you have a lot of money, I think it's fine to do that kind of stuff, but At some point, you're wasting or misallocating resources to where if your goal is to make money from this, I don't mean to come at the guys because I respect what they're doing to the highest possible degree. And I don't know what their goals are. It's not like I talked to them about this. They could have some sort of ulterior objective as to what the goals I'm wearing. Pretty much the same thing. I actually not just got back from the airport, but I was there yesterday, kind of just came back today. And the event was fantastic. The party was phenomenal. We were at a great, the art basel. I mean, it was fantastic. And I don't mean to come at the guys, and there's a lot of thoughts that I have that I'm purposefully leaving out because I really, really respect what they're doing. But I need to say that I think that they are misallocating a lot of resources, that they are overspending on something that they should be making profitable, that they're not, but they see it as a loss leader when it shouldn't be. On other news, while we're kind of going through the rest of this, I missed the video yesterday. I was so busy. My flight, I left at like 5 a.m. I finished up the party around 12. So, you know what? The shame that I missed it and I regret it. Maybe I'll do 2 today to make up for it. But there was an occasion that I really couldn't miss out on. I simply didn't have time. I could have posted this video, but I fucked up. I guess I failed the 1,000 day challenge, but I'm still going to do the 1,000 days. It's not like I was just sitting on my ass all day and I didn't make a video and I didn't post it. I simply was slammed from 5 a.m. to midnight, and then I had to catch a flight at 10 a.m. this morning. So it was honestly just a brutal day of a lot of activity. I got a bunch of job offers that I'll actually kind of go through my thought process. There were some people who did ask for me to work for them, and they're just not my ideal clientele. So instead, what I think I'm going to do is partner with somebody else. They're making a lot of money, maybe five-ish, probably $1 million a year right now. And they have a pretty big opportunity with what they're doing because their margins are so high. So instead, I think I'm going to partner with one of my buddies and just say, hey, how about I give you this business and I'll take some sort of recurring check, very, very small percentage of it. But if I can give my buddy an extra 10 grand a month and then he gives me $1,000, I think that'd be appropriate. And the reason why I would do that is just because I'm not going to be making money for a little bit with the guy I'm working with in Arizona. I'm moving there January 3rd. They told me I'm getting some sort of super cool car. It's so stupid. My life is insane. I'm honestly just so grateful that this video is going to go all over the place because I've been reflecting. Last night, I remember distinctly, we were at the cocktail party and fucking billionaires, all these mega famous people. Ryan Garcia was sitting across from me. I was sitting down on the little lounge couch area while all these people were walking by it, and I was just soaking it all in. I was wiped out, super tired. I'd already talked to a bunch of people, and I was just sitting there reflecting. And I was like, wow, dude, my life is incredible. My life is incredible. I'm sitting here around all these people that I look up to, that I'm huge fans of, that I'm just the most fortunate human on the face of the planet. I came to Miami for one day. It's amazing how much your life can change in 3 years. And then I just got some Snapchat memories from 3 years ago when I was desperately working. And I was telling myself, hey, dude, I actually might do an entirely separate video on this some other time. But I'm getting these memories when I was from 3 years ago. I was growing out my hair. I was working 15, 16 hours a day, just hyper focused. I was going over actually this COVID and how I thought that the vaccine mandates were the most authoritarian thing I've ever seen in my entire life, and going over some of the statistics as to how it makes no sense why they're going to mandate vaccines and how this is wrong on so many levels. And if they force all Americans to get it, I was actually saying I was going to drive and move over to Mexico. I wasn't post any of these. I was just making them for myself. You can definitely tell I was focused on business and making money there. I was desperate because I was pretty chunky. I'll do a full separate video on that because I'm getting a lot of these. And it's interesting to see that I was on the right path. So my thoughts on Valuetainment: fantastic company. I think they're wildly overspending for the results that they're getting. I think they could be way more profitable. I don't know what their goals are, though. Maybe their goals are not to just make as much profit as possible. I know Pat's already super rich, so maybe he doesn't care about that too much. He actually probably does have other goals. He's an incredibly intelligent guy. I just think they're spending too much money. I might go over and do the math as to how much money I think they're spending versus making. Then I would go over a few of their different business strategies, because I would do that on my free time either way. Maybe I'll just record it. I got to go right now. I'm wiped out. I've been just going nonstop. So I'm going to rest for the rest of the evening. I'm sorry for missing yesterday. Only I care, though. No one else is looking forward to these videos. I'm not kicking myself over it, even though usually I would. But who knows? I got to go.